into the second hour here on this Thursday edition, 8-8. We're going to be taking your phone calls here in a moment. We've got some guests popping in that started this highway overpass movement to call for the impeachment of Obama that's been very successful. Just kicked off 2 days ago. They're going to pop in and talk about the power of the people taking action. But I want to just briefly say something to listeners that just tuned in before I go to this brief special report with David Knight and then to your phone calls. When I'm walking down the hike and bike trail by myself, or when I'm sitting out on the back porch at midnight or early in the morning in that quiet, still, focused place, I think Psalms calls it the secret place of the Most High, you know, that calm, clear point. When I sit back and I think, what's most important to cover? What is the greatest threat to humanity? I realize it's the open-air genetic engineering of pharmacological crops to produce everything you can imagine. They can have corn, you name it, soybeans, grow live herpes virus, live HIV, grow chemicals. Plants are amazing. And they're already mutating with other plants. They have thousands of pharmacological crops. And a few times I've had people on the street come up and say I'm a liar because they just can't get their mind around we're in the 21st century. It is Buck Rogers. And the only technology we're given out of the Chinese slave plants that are now replacing the humans with robots, with the suicide nets, the forced drugging, the forced abortions, they're death camps, you know, that Al Gore basically runs. Apple demands the most savage dehumanization, systems. It's because it's liberal. It's trendy. As long as he says it's liberal and talks in a soft NPR neuro-linguistic programming voice, it's okay. Because it's, hi, I'm Al Gore, Janet Napolitano. We're putting up Jumbotron saying, watch your neighbors. That's not out of the running man or anything. Just go to sleep. Go to sleep. Everything's, we're here to help. The drones are here to help. When I really think about what's happening, they are butchering the genetic code of the planet. They are irrevocably carrying out horrible eugenics programs of soft kill against us. And they're launching surveillance systems through all the computers, all the software, all the dishwashers, washing machines. Light bulbs are now surveilling through data going over power lines, into chips, in the light bulbs, on record. Mainline articles about the flicker rates to calm you. And they're calming the police department with the new light bulb. The Pentagon designed it. Oh, it's liberal. And you're like, wow, I'm reading this in AP out of Minnesota. And it also the feds can communicate with the police officers' computers now off the flicker rate. I mean, it's just total deployment, body snatcher level. It's a science fiction movie. And I realize that even my mind has trouble dealing with it and puts up buffers of cognitive dissonance to not be freaked out. And then it hits me. It hits me like a ton of bricks. That I just see the image of a symbol of a human smashing a robot. A classical 1950s style archetypal robot with a human, a man standing with a woman and his children behind him, just like a cave bear at the cave, smashing the enemy. It's not the technology's bad, but the way it's been designed and the way it's been deployed is the end of us. And most people instinctively go, yeah, I know that's true, because you've been predictively programmed in the culture and the media and the sci-fi for now what's happening, because this is what they're doing. And people say, why aren't you scared? I mean, why do you go in the middle of a lake and swim 2 miles by yourself? They could send frogmen to kill you. And I had a police detective was here, and he was telling me that. Or, you know, why do you go off and walk around by yourself in the woods? Why? Because, you know what, if they kill me, they're just killing themselves. They'll probably kill me down the road, folks. It's just the way it is. You think I'm worried about that 1 micron? When I realize they're already, for 60 years, been putting deadly fluoride in the water on record to brain damage people and give us high rates of cancer and low fertility.
I'm ashamed of myself when I'm tired at a restaurant at 9 at night and I see a family with small kids on their iPads and iPhones and drinking fluoride water, that I'm just too tired to go over and tell them, hey, by the way, that's deadly, and have the dad laugh at me and then say, get away from my table. And I just go, I'll let those kids get hurt, I guess. I'm now complicit. Most of the time I get up and say something now. Most of the time I say, I see you're pregnant. You know, hey, you better check into vaccines. Not what they tell you, but what's on the insert. They didn't used to give pregnant women shots. Yeah, they're pressuring me now to get shots. And the husband's like, hey, buddy. And usually the woman's like, no, I want to hear about my baby. I'm like, sir, I have 3 children. I have a responsibility to warn you. And he's like, all right, but it's still kind of weird. And I go, and I'll get him by the hand and I'll say, I do this every day, folks. I say, if I see a pregnant woman with her husband especially, I'll get him by the hand. I'll say, I care about you. I have a responsibility to warn you. You know the government's evil. You know it's bad deep down. And you need to protect your wife. And then I leave it at that, and they'll both look at each other. And sometimes if they go, well, what's going on? I'll go, well, see how you thought it was strange for me to talk to you. We're humans. I'm not an iPad or a computer. I'm supposed to talk to you. Your brain's been rewired to not communicate with each other. And a lot of times I'll start getting tears in my eyes. I go, we've got to wake up together. That's who I really am, folks. They're killing us, for God's sakes. What is it going to take to get it through your head? That's why they've sent in Russian sex operatives on me in New York City. And, you know, I don't go get set up by them because I don't want the Russian sex operative. Number one, I don't want to cheat on my wife. Number two, it's not even a big temptation because I realize I'm in a giant war for humanity. I can't be distracted by the Marilyn Monroe lookalike, even though they know that's what is in my mind's eye. I can't be distracted by those things because it's a full-on war for the full future of humanity, and I'm committed to it. But the normal response is to warn everybody. The normal response is to go do banner hangs. The normal response is to go up to every cop you see and give them information. And if they bow up and act weird, you go, listen to me. You know stuff's in trouble. Do you care about your family? I had local police and then some MI5 guys and feds come around while I was at Bilderberg, and they one group tried to intimidate me and act weird. I knew who they were, and they couldn't believe I knew who they were. And I said, you know, I bet you got family dying of cancer right now. I go, look at this newspaper article. I happen to have it. I go, look, 40% of you are now going to have cancer. You think that's normal? Go ahead and act like secret agent, man, or do something for humanity. They come back days later and go, here's all the info. You're right. We're sorry. That's right. You just need to join humanity right now. You know it was waiting there the entire time. You know it will fulfill you, or you can turn yourselves over to a bunch of hunchback globalists who think they're going to play God, who really just like to kill people. They're turning the whole planet over to AI, artificially intelligent, autonomous machines. Already, you're already in a Terminator movie. You're already being assessed right now by this. Well, I am the organic response to it, and I am the human response, and I am my ancestors' response to it, and you are your ancestors' response to it. And we are the bridge to the future of the human destiny to decide our development or stand out and be destroyed. I am not going to stand out and be destroyed. I am not going to say humans are junk. I'm not going to say you're ugly and evil and bad just because you've been programmed that way. What is a spirit? It is the program of evil or good. It is a virus. Or it is a protein. It is the wavelength. It is the mindset. And they have hit us with viruses of greed and deceit and lies and pettiness and backstabbing and manipulation. And that will bring us down, folks. They have used incredibly weaponized culture to destroy us.
Now you can watch Alex Jones live at INFOWARS.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for Prison Planet TV.
You can also browse the network, the INFOWARS Nightly News,
and over 60 movies and documentaries all together in one place.
You can watch the Alex Jones radio show live as it happens.
So check it out, INFOWARS.com/show.